The best hookup ratio you can possibly get with a hook is a straight shank. I throw a size 2, a size 1, and a 1/0. Those are my 3 choices. If I'm throwing a small, like a 4-inch wacky worm, I'm gonna throw a size 2. If I'm throwing like a 5-inch, I'm gonna throw a size 1 and then a 1/0 for your 6-inch and a little bit bigger stuff. The key to this whole setup is just the fact you're throwing a hook that's high percentage, okay? This is 40-pound monofilament tan-tied onto that hook. So that's not gonna, like, you can't throw that in the middle of all, a ton of bushes, but that's gonna be great for grass, hydrilla, milfoil, stuff like that. It's gonna keep a lot of that stuff off there, but it's not going to destroy it where you're gonna mess up your hookup ratio. When I'm selecting a worm to throw on my wacky rig, I throw a whole bunch of different baits, but one bait that I throw when the fish get really finicky is just this little Jean LaRue salt flicker. And what it does is it has a couple of appendages on the outside. It's just something a little bit different. It has a little bit different action, and just switching it up a little bit is the key. Now, when I'm fishing a wacky rig, a lot of times I'll pitch it up there and I'm gonna twitch it a lot. Like, I like to keep them up in the water column because a lot of times the fish, when they're around their beds or they're getting ready to spawn or post spawn, they like to feed up. They look up. And sometimes they don't want to break the surface for a topwater. This bait right here is gonna have a little bit different kicking action than just regular, like a straight wacky worm. The one thing that you're gonna notice, I'm fishing this with the casting gear. I'm throwing a little bit bigger bait, a 6-inch stick worm, and this is gonna allow me to power some of those fish out of that heavy cover. There's a lot of big fish down this area we're fishing right now, and if I'm fishing super clear water where I feel like it matters, where I have to throw 6 or 8 or 10-pound line, then I'm gonna utilize that spinner, spinning outfit. But when I'm fishing around wood or I'm fishing around bushes or grass, that's not necessarily what I need to do. I'm using something a little bit beefier. I'm still not using super heavy line because I feel like, the heavier line actually hurts, and it hurts the action of the worm and doesn't allow it to fall the right way. So I'm throwing 14-pound fluorocarbon and just pitching this thing out there and just sort of popping it around. But this is allowing me to make more accurate pitches, more accurate casts than maybe I would with a spinning rod. And I'm able to really key in on that. And then when I get a bite, I'm able to get those fish out of there. Again, this is not something I'm gonna throw 17 or 20-pound line on, but I can get away with that 14-pound fluorocarbon. It's still thin enough that I can still get those bites, but get those fish out of that heavy cover. One of the misconceptions of a wacky rigged worm and throwing the salt flicker is you have to fish so slow. Well, that's not true. You can pitch this thing out here, and a lot of times I'll pitch it out there to a piece of wood or a cover, and I work that bait pretty fast. I'm keeping it up high. I'm not letting that bait sit there and, and sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll let that bait to fall down and get down there in the lower part of the water column. But most of the time, I'm actually casting this thing around, weeds, or casting it around, lay downs, and I'm keeping that bait up to get those fish to come up and eat it. Get ready. Neko hook strikes again. Look at that thing. Absolutely choked it, got it good. Get him out of there. That's how you want them hooked. Right in the top of the mouth. Beautiful fish. Let him go.